So, Coach, how did you come up with that card? How did they come up with that card? Seems like this is going to be the discussion and basically the topic at hand. Andre Ward, after a valiant effort of coming off the canvas against the hardest puncher in boxing, last night shocked the boxing world by not only overcoming that shot, getting up off the canvas, but coming away with the victory. And I'm going to explain to you, that's why you're here watching this show, because one of the things that I have is experience as a judge, as a coach, and I can give you the insight that'll make you feel better about your decision. But when it's all said and done, you got to roll with the punches. Decisions were all over the place. Why is this? Because there's no formidable method of coaching that overcomes emotion. And that's what we're going to get into. When a guy is sitting at ringside, man, that's much more of a responsibility than what people give credit for. Before we get started, for those of you who've never watched my show, my name is Eric A. Bradley, aka The Real Fight Doctor, and there is no other on this level. So, back to the topic at hand. Andre SOG Ward. Last night, and whenever you watch this video, fought SERGEY Kovalev, and the critics were saying that Kovalev, could drop him and knock him out. Son of God has always held formidable in the ring, no matter what his foe. He's a technician in that ring, balance, sound attack, never backs down from a battle. But what did he do last night when he came out? He played tactical. He didn't come out as his own self, and he also didn't come out warm. Because as a coach, I know that. It took him 4 rounds to really get going and to start to look like Andre Ward. Not giving him looks, changing the head movement, acting like there was a sense of urgency. Even after getting up, he was sticking shots to the body. So this is what judges have to see. So stay with me, people. When judges are sitting there, first of all, you better have caffeine in your system, because staring at a fight and watching a fight is different. See, when you're at a fight, whether you're watching it on your big screen TV, at a theater, sports bar, at a friend's house, you get to turn your head. You get to look around. You get to see other stuff. But you don't get that as a judge. At least you better not act like you're looking around. Because the minute your scorecard comes up funny, people gonna start pointing fingers. So imagine this, staring at a spot on the wall for 3 straight minutes, because that's really what boxing is. And the judges never come out with saying things like that, but they do. If you watch judges during a fight, if you're at a fight, every few minutes you'll see one of those guys doing some kind of nod. You got some guys that are formidable, they come for the job. You look at Kenny Bayless as a referee. He's shrewd as a ref. He stays reffing every second of every round. But what happened last night, I'm going to take it back to the 80s. There was a fighter, and I don't know if you guys know him, but his name was Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was fighting this guy, and you may have heard of this guy. His name was Marvin Hagler. They called him Marvelous Marvin. He was a great balance southpaw fighter at middleweight division. Sugar Ray Leonard had been out of the game for years. Had watched Marvin Hagler fight John the Beast Mugabe, and it urged him to fight again. Why? Because he saw things. So as flashy as Sugar Ray was, he decided to bring his game back to the boxing game and to match wits against the heralded middleweight champion, the destroyer, real destroyer, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. They got in a fight, and even the critics were saying, even family members of Sugar Ray Leonard agreed upon this, that when Sugar Ray Leonard went out and didn't get murdered in the first 3 rounds, because they didn't give him any chance, because Marvin Hagler was mauling everybody. He was beating, breaking him down. John the Beast Mugabe was the scariest man in the entire game of boxing at that time, outside of Marvin Hagler. And Marvin Hagler mowed him down in 11 like he was eating his lunch. Sugar Ray Leonard made it past the 3. Not only did he make it past the 3, he won them all. No one saw that coming. And by the time Hagler started coming on, the critics had already made their minds up that this fight was much more even than they thought. Once they started seeing Sugar Ray rally in 10th and 11th round, they stopped watching the fight and started watching Sugar Ray Leonard. Why? Because of the immaculate performance that he was putting on and his boxing cachet under fire. His character in the ring. So these are the reasons. Many years later, people really don't understand how hard judging is. There was a fighter. His name was Saul Canelo Alvarez. And he was fighting Erislandy Lara. And I had a nice fight party going on because that's what I do. I enjoy having friends over or family over when we're watching the fights. Erislandy Lara was running circles around him. He was boxing, using the ring quite a bit much, I may add. But Canelo Alvarez was chasing him down, and he was coming. Whoo, whoo. And my sister said, "Who is that guy?" And it dawned on me, people who are watching boxing, they don't score boxing, the casuals. They see who looks spectacular and like the champion. And Canelo Alvarez was looking like the champion. I had Erislandy Lara winning more rounds, but I had to turn certain rounds over to Canelo because of the effort, the bigamy of the moment. He was throwing them haymakers, them hammers. He was throwing caution to the wind to bring the fight. But he wasn't going to sit back and try to figure things out. He was throwing. And Erislandy Lara, he broke him down. You got to give credit to that. So I gave certain rounds to Erislandy Lara, landed more punches. I gave them to Canelo after the fact. So remember this. Whenever you see Andre Ward in that fight, stay with me now. I know you want to go and look at what Kim Kardashian is doing or what phone's coming out next. But check this out. Whenever that boy overcame that, what you saw was ebbs and flows. People didn't realize how much of that you was going to see. You hadn't seen it at that level in such a long time. No one went down against Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. You didn't see someone overcome a mountain of monstrosity to become victorious. You didn't see that. And that's what people are not used to seeing. The arena screaming out his name when he was getting up off the canvas. And yeah, it was a little home cooking because the fans were there bringing and putting a spirit into the arena. It wasn't placebo effect. So a lot of the close rounds, judges were looking and they were seeing something they hadn't seen in a very long time at that level. There have not been two guys that highly ranked on the pound for pound and world champions. Trust me, the judges were also fans last night, or whenever you watch this. That has a lot to do with those scorecards. You got those guys. These are the people that said they had to fight for. Eddie Hearns had to fight, and he was sitting at ringside. Why? Because you can hear those thudding shots. You can hear those Andre Ward showed he wanted it more times by overcoming, and still, when it looks like your scorecard is getting too tight, the only thing you got to do is the test. And what is the test? The test is who is doing more of what they want to. And that was Andre Ward. He was doing what he wanted to. Kovalev didn't never stop his onslaught. He just tried to maintain it and get more points. But at a championship level, when you got the pound for pound 2 top fighters in the game, you got to do more. You got to show you want it more. So I'm not saying I said Andre Ward won. What I'm doing is giving you a sentimental breakdown of what this fight entailed from the judges and how the fans impacted, and of course a little home cooking, because that was a part of the situation. U.S. versus Russia. That's all I got. But I tell you this, you wanted some noise in boxing? You got it. Because Ward Kovalev 2, it's going down. I thank you guys for watching. Because right now you watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down. Round by round. If you think you know or can add to whatever this topic was, leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think. Who did you score the fight for? If you scored the fight, just make sure you take a card, look at it again, turn the sound off, get all that out of the way, and do your scorecard. That's all I can tell you to do, because then you'll get the right number. 114, 113 across the board. That wasn't by happenstance, I tell you that. Take it light. Peace. Holla at your boy, Master Box.